Hi, my name is Philip Cameron. I am the chef at the German Embassy in Ottawa. Today I will teach you how to make beet deviled eggs.
The ingredients needed will be 6 eggs, a quarter cup of mayonnaise, a teaspoon of Dijon mustard, a teaspoon of garlic powder, salt, pepper, Tabasco, and paprika to taste, according to your own preferences, a medium beet, which is optional if you want to give the nice color to your egg, and finally chives for garnish. This is also optional.
The equipment you will need for the deviled eggs will be a sharp knife, a cutting board, a blender. It can be big or small. Example for small, the ones you use in the morning to make your smoothies, 2 pots, a spider or a slotted spoon, spatula, a nice plate to present the food on, a strainer with a metal bowl, tasting spoons, a piping bag, conveniently placed into a container for it to be easier to put the deviled egg mix inside. The first thing you're going to want to do when you start the recipe, if you want to give the eggs color, is to put the beet, cook it. I cook it whole. It's easier, in my opinion, to take the skin off after. You can put a cover on top of the pot to help it cook evenly. You don't need to cook it with the skin still on. You can peel it, cut it up into small pieces. This is just a preference of mine. And if you do not want to put color onto your eggs, you do not need to do this step here. Next step is to cook your eggs. As you can see, I put all the eggs into my metal mesh spider. You can also use a slotted spoon. The important thing about this step is that you put the eggs in delicately. You don't let them crack. And we want to make sure that the eggs don't cook too fast, so the simmer is perfect. You'll want to leave the eggs in for about 10 minutes. And then once they're done, you're going to take them out, put them into a water bath in your sink, and let the cold water flow for a bit for them to cool off. And as well, just keep an eye on your beet. Once the beet is ready, you'll be able to pass a small paring knife through the beet, and you can do the same thing, put the beet in an ice bath and start peeling off the skin. Just took the eggs off the stove and drained the water. Now I'm going to create a water bath. I'm going to turn on some cold water, and I'm just simply going to start submerging the eggs in this very cold water. Just lower the temperature as fast as I can. And you want to get them under the danger zone, so that is 4 degrees Celsius. Go ahead and submerge the eggs, and you can slowly turn down the water, almost like a drip like this. And once the eggs have cooled off a bit, you can start peeling them. I recommend leaving them for a few minutes to cool off. I'm going to come and crack the egg like this, as you can see, and just like that. This is with one hand, but use both hands when you're doing it, much easier. But if you come underneath the water, you can just take off all those little pesky shells right off. So that's just one egg. You want to do all 6. Once you have peeled your eggs, put them into the fridge for them to cool off for about 20 to 30 minutes. During that period of time, take your cooked beet, throw it into a blender, and add about 1.5 to 2 cups of water. Take your eggs out, submerge them with the beet juice or puree, and let them soak in the juice and puree overnight. As you can see, now I have these beautiful red, purple, pink eggs. Just so stunning, the color of a beet. And I still have the puree. Now in a kitchen, it's important never to waste, so I'm going to use this puree either in a soup, or I'm going to use it for a meal as a spread beside, let's say, chicken. Now that I have my colored eggs, I will want to cut them in half. Just like that. Look at that beautiful color right through the egg. Simon, you're going to cut them all up, and once that's done, you're going to take your bowl with your strainer, and you're going to empty out all the egg yolks into the strainer. and put the shells aside. Now that I have split the egg yolk from the egg whites, I'll put into my strainer and I will push it through the strainer for it to be very fine. Now that all the egg yolks have gone through the sieve, I'm going to add all the ingredients. So I'm going to add my garlic powder. I'm going to add my mayonnaise. Go in and get all of that good mayonnaise. My Dijon mustard. Again, I want to try to go and get up all that mustard. I'm going to sprinkle a bit of paprika. I'm using smoked paprika, but regular paprika is also an option. I'm going to add a bit of salt. Like I said, let's start with a bit of salt, and then if it needs more, add some more. It's always better to have less salt than too much, because once you've put too much, you can't go back. And same kind of concept with the pepper. I'm also going to add a bit of Tabasco. I don't measure the Tabasco. I like things spicy, so I'm going to put on quite a bit of Tabasco, but please feel free to put less and or none. I'm going to come over here and mix it all up. Give a nice mix. Come and get all the sides, make sure that the mix is completely even. Once that's done, I'm going to come over here, get a spoon. Try it out. I like the way it tastes, so I'm going to go on ahead and come and get my jar right here. And I'm simply going to come scrape the bowl, make sure that everything is out. Right into my piping bag.
Now take your chives and pick out the bad pieces. You'll then chop up the chives with your sharp knife. It's very important that the knife is sharp, because if not, you're going to bruise the chives. Use your index finger to guide your knife and just keep bunching up the chives in the back. This is just an example of how to chop your herbs in a safe and efficient manner. If you don't like chives, you can use like parsley or paprika. It's all about elevating the color and the contrast to be able to put that beautiful plate in front of your guests.
Pipe the shells with the filling. So I always start away and I come, put a generous, nice amount just like that. And I'm going to quickly get to them all. Some people will use piping tips. It's not necessary, but if you want a nicer design, that's fine also. Just like that. And then proceed to decorating the deviled eggs. I'm going to use a bit of chives, just put a bit on top, just like that. And this is where you can kind of get creative. I also have some paprika here, so on the middle ones I'm going to put some smoked paprika, just like that. And on these ones over here I'm going to put both the chives and the paprika. It's really up to you how you want to finish these off. There's no set rules, just make them look good and make them the way you want, so they're both appetizing for the eyes and also for your own tastes. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. If you have any comments or questions, please leave a comment below. If you have enjoyed this video, please follow Philip Mabelli on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you. Have a good day.